All right, it's Tuesday, May 23rd. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we end up with a 2 down red day. You can see on the day we moved lower from the open and closed near the lows. We stayed below the midpoint of the prior day. And really, this is not all that surprising given the fact that we've been up for a little bit. We're at a key inflection point. We were opening up lower. You know, there's a possibility of coming down back through this entire range. We have the big range in here that we broke out of, hit a key level at this 418 at the green line, pause for 2 days, and now, you know, we see, do we fail in here or do we just kind of have a pause and continue to higher time frame targets? So it's kind of a key area, and we're going to let price action lead the way. In terms of the weekly chart, we're after 2 days, we're now red and heading lower, so we have kind of a good reference point, the open of that bar. If we have any kind of turnaround this week, we're going to have to get above that open and turn green and head higher. We've kind of crossed the midway point of the prior bar, but it's just it's not like we failed on the upside first, so that's not as significant. We're kind of holding inside that bar. So for now, even though the continuity is red, even the monthly chart, if we go to that, has turned a bit red, but that's been broadening action. We've taken out the lows and highs of the previous month, so we're sort of sitting here neutral, but red at the moment. So we do have a little continuity to the downside if price action continues lower. Weekly chart, red, and of course the daily chart red. So in order for us to consider going long tomorrow, we're going to need some kind of move above the midway point of this bar, ideally taking out, you know, tomorrow's high. Don't know what's going to happen until we watch the pre-market range. Today, the pre-market range between the blue lines started out lower, so the kind of what we talked about, or what I talked about, was that we'll see if in this trading range, since we are expecting a little higher given the prior green week and the breakout, we wanted to see if we took out these lows down here of the previous couple of days and then maybe took out some stops and started higher. And that's kind of what the market tried to do out of the gates. We opened up down near the lows, just stood there, and I bought some calls here, knowing that we had to get above the green line, the open of the week, and into yesterday's midway point of that bar, given that we're opening up below the lows. So I watched it, kind of started up, then we had a little push down that held the midpoint of that bar, then we came up again, and after about an hour, you know, I shot a video how I broke even on this trade, and there was really nothing much, you know, that I was excited about on the upside anymore after watching the 2 attempts to go higher, and that's called risk management. And as it turns out, nothing really developed until we went lower, and then I shot a video on this move down, given just the way everything was setting up, breaking through the lows of the day, not really then bouncing from there, kind of like it tried to do at the open. I anticipated at least another push down, and we got that, and then we even had a third push down. So, you know, bought some puts here at the purple line, and that was a nice trade. In terms of now the daily chart, again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Follow through lower could come all the way, you know, if we're really going to fail breaking out of this range, which is always a possibility. That's what happens when you hit a target. You know, you're always looking, do we just continue strongly through it, or is that an inflection point where maybe we reverse the other way? And at the moment, you can never predict it, but you certainly see the signs that we could be coming all the way back through that range. So we'll see how the weekly chart ends. I also see it in here where we could be, you know, just an inside week, and maybe by the, you know, with a few days to go, we can start back up again. So we'll let price action lead the way, but I certainly wouldn't hesitate to follow through a little lower if market opens up that way tomorrow. So let's see what happens. In terms of, you know, even though he had a little bit of an upward bias, which was tricky because you're opening near the lows of the pre-market range, there were a few stocks, if you just look around the board, instead of the SPY here, there were good stocks to trade. For example, if you look at Amazon, that had a nice push up 1, boom 2, and there's your morning trade. I bought at the lower blue line and exited pretty much at the upper blue line here, and that's same thing with Meta. There was a good, you know, opening green bar, nice inside pausing action, and then a move up. I bought this blue line and exited the target. So again, it shows you how, for me anyway, my morning trade philosophy or morning move philosophy kind of, in some cases, you don't catch the entire move if it's a big trend day. In other cases, it's just like this, where you get that key little base hit trade, and then if you try to hold on all day, you'd either break even or be in trouble. So, you don't want to do that. And then Broadcom was another trade that I was able to buy here on the red to green move and kind of work its way up towards the high of the day, and I was able to have a nice trade here in the morning, and then it just went sideways for the rest of the day. So while the SPY was failing early, there were some, you had to look around for different stocks that were doing well, and there were definitely a few. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, the only way you can sit along is if we have some kind of move above the midpoint of this day and pre-market action and have a 2-up day. That'll be a really nice trade because it'll show we just had a bit of all the breakout traders kind of get trapped. They're selling out, and then, maybe it starts up higher, but we're going to have to see if price action leads us there. Otherwise, I'm kind of anticipating definitely with this red bar heading lower tomorrow, and you can tell, and you can see we have a big range that we might be coming all the way back through. So let's see how things unfold.